I'm doing a tutorial. What? I haven't done a tutorial in so long. I just haven't been in the mood, I guess, to do one. I've been going through kind of a weird YouTube funk recently. I just haven't felt super inspired by anything, and I've been so busy with work, and then when I have my days off, I've just been like in this weird, I don't want to do anything at all work related. And it's not like this is necessarily a job, it is kind of more of like a hobby, but I do have sort of a work side to it. To spare you the rambling, basically, I'm finally back. I'm doing a tutorial. I am going to make it an effort to post more eye of the days on my Instagram, to do more tutorials, because I know that these are the videos that you guys really like to see. They're fun for me to film. I like talking to you guys, kind of getting ready with you guys. But anyway, so today's look is actually an inspired look. I was going through Instagram, and of course I follow, you know, tons of makeup accounts. One of my favorites is Tyranny. It's T-I-A-R-N-I, and I think it's underscore something. Underscore T-I-A-R-N-I underscore. And she did this look that I thought was just so pretty. It's just sort of like a warm brown in the crease, purple on the lid, gold on the inner corner, and then a bronzy liner. And so I just kind of followed it a little bit. It is a little bit different. Obviously, it's not gonna look exactly like hers, but I tried. She is fabulous. I highly recommend you guys go and follow her. Her looks are just so much fun. Like, she is so good at incorporating colors in a way that is flattering and somewhat wearable. She does tons of neutral looks too, and she's just kind of one of those people that you see one of her makeup looks and you're like, okay, I gotta try to slap this on my face. So I wanted to give credit where credit is due. I did not come up with this. It's sort of inspired from the pictures. So yeah, here's kind of a closer look. So you got that pop of purple on the middle of the eyelid, a little bit of gold, bronzy liner on the lower lash line, and then just some warm browns thrown in the crease. I hope you guys enjoy this, and let's just get on into it. Alright, so starting off, I'm going to be taking MAC's Soft Brown Eyeshadow, and I'm just going to be sweeping this through my crease kind of as a transition color, bringing it up quite a bit so that we can get a really, really nice fade. Just so you guys know, the eyeshadows that I'm using are completely, totally random. This isn't like a tutorial. It's coming strictly out of one palette. So I would really recommend that you guys use, you know, the products that you have and just try to find similar colors. The next shadow that I'm taking is this NYX Nude Matte Shadow in the shade Dance the Tides. This is one of my favorite eyeshadows of all time. It's kind of like a darker version of MAC Soft Brown. So if you were to take Soft Brown and just really, really deepen it up, that's sort of what this is like. With this, I'm just picking it up on this Sephora Professional Oval Blending Brush. You can't find these anymore, but they're pretty much exactly the same as the MAC 217s. However, for some reason, I just prefer this brush a lot more. And with this, I am just going to be taking it not so high. I'm just mainly taking this like through the actual crease just to kind of warm it up. And then finally, the last color I'm going to be taking in the crease comes from the Cargo Vintage Escape palette, and it is called Chestnut. Chestnut is an almost black brown. It's very, very intense. It definitely, I mean, when you show it next to this black, it definitely looks really brown, and that's the nice thing about it, is that it is brown. It's softer than a black, but it's not like, you know, a regular mid-tone matte brown. It actually has a lot of depth and a lot of darkness to it. So I absolutely love this color. And this is kind of one of those colors that you just need the tiniest bit of. I would just recommend taking the darkest brown that you have in your collection for this step. And this is just going to get placed right here in the outer corner. I'm just kind of stamping it first. And then I'm going to start to bring it through the crease, just kind of slowly so that I can blend if I need to, and so I don't get too much on here. Alright, and now taking my blending brush, I'm just going to kind of diffuse this out. With this look too, you could definitely take like a little bit more of a precise brush and really make this sort of a cut crease. I'm not going to do that today just because I don't feel like it, but I think that that would look really pretty if you just had like a really strong cut crease of this brown, and then you sort of faded it with the orangey tones, and then you applied the colors. For the colors, I'm going to start by going into the Urban Decay Electric palette. I haven't used this palette, I mean, since like I stopped working at Ulta, even though it's fun and like I still work as a makeup artist, so I could definitely wear these shades. I just haven't been super inspired to recently, which is another reason why I haven't done a tutorial in a long time. I just went through this phase of like not feeling super inspired with my makeup, but I'm glad I'm starting to feel it again. I'm going to be taking the shade Urban and mixing it with a little bit of Jilted, so the two purple shades in the palette. concentrating just a tiny bit more on urban. And then with this, I will just be plopping this on the middle of my eyelid. And then I'm going to be taking the LORAC. This is the Sultry Starlette palette. It was one of their Black Friday palettes, and I'm going to be using or attempting to use this gold in here. It's not the best gold eyeshadow, but any sort of a really yellowy toned gold will work. And for this, because I just kind of want to get it like really, really precisely placed, I'm just going to take it onto my pinky, kind of tilt my head back, and just dab it right there on the inner corner. And then wiping off that pencil brush really well, I'm just going to then kind of drag the gold into the purple. I'm then just going to be taking this big fluffy brush again and just kind of going through like the general crease area. And then that is it for the main shadows. I'm now going to line my eyes with the Physicians Formula Eye Booster. Couldn't remember what this is called. And then taking a black eyeliner, this is the Jane Water Resistant Eyeliner. I'm going to run this up here on my tight line. And then for a little pop, or the little pop of copper on my waterline, I'm taking this Beauty People Miss 100 Super Waterproof Gel Liner Pencil. This came in a Mimi box I got like a month or two ago. This is in the shade Glimmer Bronze. This is the best bronze eyeliner I have ever tried for the waterline. Mainly because I'll put this on and it'll actually stay. Like, it will actually give me that pop of color all day, and it won't, like, you know, transfer out into my corners or anything and then just disappear. I also like it because it actually shows up. That's another problem I tend to have with gold or bronzy eyeliners, is I put them in my waterline and sometimes I'm like, they just kind of leave a faint tint of bronze or gold, but not actually like a true stark metallic color, which is what I want. So I love this thing. Next, I'm going to apply a coat of They're Real from Benefit on my upper lashes. And then very finally, using the Vintage Vixen, this was the other LORAC Black Friday palette. I'm just going to take the matte cream. You can use any matte cream in the entire world, whatever highlighting shade you want. This is just sitting closest to me. And like I said, this tutorial is definitely not following like one particular set of eyeshadows. But anyway, I'm just running this up underneath my brow bone. And then we are just about done for the eyes. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to kind of do the rest of my face, and then I'll come back and show you guys how I'm going to finish up on the lower lash line and what I used on the face per usual. And we're back. So this last part is going to be super easy. I'm taking that Dance the Tide shadow again, picking it up on a small little Essence of Beauty crease brush. And with this, I am just going to be taking this on my lower lash line. Kind of going most of the way in, not, you know, completely all the way, and taking it down a bit far too. And then taking a push liner brush in that chestnut shade from the Cargo Vintage Escape palette, I am going to take this color and push it just up close to my lash line, and I hope that this mirror doesn't get too much in the way. So just kind of pushing it there on the lashes. And then going back to the Essence of Beauty crease brush, I am just going to kind of, this doesn't have any additional product on it, by the way. I'm just taking this and kind of, like I said, just blending out that line a little bit so it looks a little bit natural. Or, you know, it's makeup, it's not really going to look natural, but you guys know what I'm saying. And if you guys are curious, I do have a more kind of in-depth tutorial on how I smoke out my lower lash line that is still completely 100% accurate. And I would reference you to that if you tend to have problems with this. And then, of course, we're just going to apply a little bit of mascara to the lower lashes. I got the sample of Glam Lash by Laura Geller from Ulta, and this is what I've been using on my lower lashes. Love it. It doesn't seem to smudge or smear. It doesn't seem to flake everywhere. Plus, this brush is perfect. It's just a good lower lash brush. One thing about this mascara though, don't load it on my upper lashes. It's a very, very dry formulation, so I find on my upper lashes for some reason it just doesn't really work as well, but on my lower lashes, I mean, pop, it just is so nice. Alright, so let's zoom you guys out and I will tell you what I used on the rest of my face. Alright, so excuse the messy hair. This is slept in curls. By the way, I did change the color underneath my hair again. And I know some of you are probably like, oh my god, how damaged is the bottom layer of your hair? But this is just a semi-permanent, so I didn't bleach this again or anything anything. I just went straight over the pink that I had, and I think it's really pretty. Like, I am super, super digging this color, like this more, it's definitely not lavender anymore. It's more of like a true purple color. Kind of matches my lid shade. I'm really, really into it. So but anyway, let me talk you through what I used on the rest of my face. So hopefully my blush shade and everything is kind of showing up. It's one of those, do I turn this off? Does that help? Maybe, I don't know. It's kind of one of those really, really bright, again, kind of cold, wintry days where the light is just like blindingly white and stark. For my foundation, I used the Naked Skin foundation from Urban Decay. I don't think I've mentioned this yet. Like, I hauled this about a month ago, but I actually never filmed like a haul video because I only picked up like 2 things when I went to Ulta, and this was one of the things. I have this in the shade 3.0. This obviously would not match me when I'm not tanned, but I actually am spray tanned right now, which I don't know if it's going to show up tons on camera, but if I show you my arm, it probably will. There is a distinct line between where I wash my hands and where I tan. So yeah, that is the color that I'm currently at now. I don't know why it shows up so much better. Like, it matches my chest and everything. It's not like my face is that much whiter than my body, but like for some reason the camera is picking it up like this is like 4 shades darker than my face. But this is the perfect shade for me when I'm tanning. The spray tan that I use is just kind of like a medium one, and this works really, really well for that. So yeah, it doesn't match me when I'm not tan, but when I am tan, it does, and I love it. This was a foundation that I tried I don't know, when it first came out, so what was that, a couple of years ago, and I did not like it at all. I don't know if my skin's just changed, or maybe if my preferences have changed, maybe if I've changed the way in which I apply foundation, but I used to think that this was awful, and so I never really gave it a second chance, never gave it another thought. I was needing a new foundation for when I tan, and so I picked this one up, and I am just in love with it, and the shade is perfect, and overall, like I said, I just adore it. Anyway, moving on. For concealer, I used the Cover FX Cream Concealer. This is in the shade G Light, which stands for Golden Light. I use this underneath my eyes and on blemishes. I'm sure you guys saw it before I put on all of my face makeup. I am having awful breakouts right now. Never had breakouts so bad in my life. I went to a dermatologist, and it's kind of just all hormonal. They think that I'm just like really stressed out or something. I'm not pregnant, swear to God. But it just might be like a stress or just a weird hormonal imbalance that my body is going through. Gotta love being a woman, right? For bronzer, I use the Revlon Photo Ready Bronze Chic. I have a hit pan in this, obviously, and I don't know why it's just like on one side of the little quadrant here. Still trying to get through this. How long have I had this bronzer? I had this bronzer, I mean, way back before I even started my channel. So I'm just trying to like work through it. I love it. I think it's great, and the awesome thing is I can use it when I'm not tanning, and when I am tanning I can use it, and it looks just as good both ways. For blush, I used the theBalm Instain blush. This is in the shade Houndstooth. You guys know that these are my favorite blushes. It's just kind of a nice mauve-y purple shade. I kind of wanted to play up with sort of the purpley tones a little bit, and so I decided to go with a slightly purpley toned blush. And then very finally, for the lips, I'm using this bareMinerals Marvelous Moxie lipstick in the shade Get Ready. On camera, I think, again, because the light is just hitting my face, so I don't know, it's kind of nice, like it's good lighting, but it's hitting my face so directly, it's making my skin, like I said, look really pale. It's making my eyes pop and my lips pop a lot. But looking into the mirror next to me, it's not a weird, like really, really drastic, like super bold eye, pale face, and super bold lip, I promise. And really this isn't even a bold shade, but on camera I just feel like it's turning to look very pinky, but it's more of just kind of a neutral, my lips but better color. Beautiful, beautiful color. Love this lipstick. This is one of my favorite lipsticks of all time. It is my favorite lipstick formulation of all time. The bareMinerals Marvelous Moxies are phenomenal, and if you have not tried one yet, definitely recommend you do so. They have a really, really great shade range, and this is kind of one of those colors that you can just slap on with whatever. I just kind of wanted a nice kind of rosier color to sort of complement, because I didn't really know. I didn't really want to do nude because I don't wear nude lips. But I wanted the tones to match nicely. And then on top of that, I just layered a little bit of the Makeup Forever Lab Shine Lip Gloss. This is in the shade D16. That is it. I think I've covered everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know I haven't done a tutorial in forever. I promise I will try to start doing more. I just, like I said, have gone through this weird funk. I just haven't felt inspired by my makeup. But looking at my makeup now, I am so happy I'm back into it because I just feel so good. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will talk to you all in my next video. Bye-bye.